Hi, it's Jamie from Crown Rebellion. I'm with William Castro, a well-known photographer, also a member of Lava. And how did you become a part of Lava?
Actually, I think it's a bit funny, but I think it was a guide that brought us together. Basically, I ran into Esperanza while I was looking to frame a painting that a friend of mine had done for my mother. When I actually ran into Esperanza, who was looking for artists to put an exhibit, a show in Los Angeles. I think yeah, at Elderberries in Hollywood. And we started talking. We became really good friends. She was looking for a photographer, and I happened to do photography, so we started talking, and that's how it happened. So it was kind of by coincidence in a way, but I'm saying we were kind of fated, to be together.
What kind of photography do you do?
I work. I guess in terms of camps, I work with more natural light. But the kind of photography that I do is a kind of production of ghosts, as I call it, because what I do with the photography is basically point to or materialize moments in life which sort of surpass our traditions or our cultures or our capacities or our knowledges. In other words, moments in life that are somehow magical, mystical, somehow out of the norm, somehow impossible in some kind of way. And so what I try to do is capture that moment and in some ways show the ghostliness of reality in its everydayness. Yeah. So the photography is kind of a sort of meditation on life in a way.
Have you traveled anywhere to capture different parts of the world, different cultures with your photography?
Yes, actually, I'm very interested in doing that. Recently, my life and my work took me to Haiti, where I did some photography on basically the the everyday life of Haitian people, given the conditions of their existence, which are very poor, to say the least, not just in terms of economy, but in terms of political responsibility, in terms of their governors, and in terms of the global governing system, which basically has abandoned Haiti and basically terrifies Haiti in many ways every day. And so what I did was take pictures of what I tend to think of as the beauty and the resilience and the power of Haitian people in light of all these obstacles. I do travel to a lot of places, and traveling is one way in which we get to cross boundaries, which our perception of reality tends to somehow, in some ways, make absent, but which are there.
Great. And do you find traveling to the other places, like it gives you a whole new perspective when coming home again?
Oh, absolutely. But I think like in it's a new perspective, but it's not a new perspective that replaces an old perspective. It's a new perspective that basically is part of the process of living and part of the process of knowing that our perspective, is already skewed. So that's why in my photography, it's very easy to produce ghosts as far as I'm concerned. Once you realize what are the limitations of our perceptions and of our culture, which are many. But
Have you always known you were a photographer?
Not really. I think I became a photographer sort of by picking up a camera. My mother gave me a camera. I always wanted a camera, but and that was the birthday gift that I got as after many years of longing for a camera. But through the process of actually grabbing onto a camera and clicking onto subjects and experimenting with that, because it's not just a simple process of just put the light together and shoot the right way. It's a very complicated process, very interactive process, very new process every time. So through the process of picking up a camera, I actually became a photographer in a way, and now I can't really escape the label, even if I want to. Even if I say I'm not really a photographer, people will still label me that.
Have you self-taught yourself, or have you taken classes, or?
I've picked up, of course, from other people. That's the nature of learning. I think you steal from other people, and that's how you become yourself in many ways. But for the most part, yeah, it's been a process of learning and comparing different products and how they appear, and what they produce, and yeah, it's been pretty much a self curve.
And what projects are you working on now as a photographer?
I'm working on different, mostly centered on what I call musical theater, which is a line of photography on artists, musical artists, singers, musicians of all sorts, playing their instruments and interacting with different crowds in different contexts. So it's very much about the human body and about like the way the human body moves, but it's concentrated on music and musical theater. Yeah, sort of in some ways like the works of Emmylou.
And then, do you have any advice for a beginning photographer?
None, except be as creative as you want to be. I think like being inquisitive about the world and being willing to challenge the boundaries or the accepted knowledges is an incredibly liberating thing, an incredibly artsy thing. So whatever your medium is, whether it's photography or whether it's a brush or a pen, either way, I think like experimentation and being open to new ideas or looking for new ideas, the thirst for new ideas is always a plus. Yes.
Well, thank you, William, for taking the time to sit down with us
Thank
and
you.
share.